In this video, we're going to take a look at how to use the triple beam balance. When the triple beam balance is being stored or when it's going to be carried, make sure that the largest 100-gram rider is all the way to the right. What that means is that when it gets picked up, that the triple beam balance won't jiggle around. So this delicate seesaw mechanism stays in place. When you're ready to measure using the triple beam balance, move this rider all the way to the left so that all the riders are all the way to the left and that the middle rider and the back rider, the 100-gram rider and the 10-gram rider, are both clicked into place in the 0 position. And when you do that, over here, the needle should be pointing at the 0, showing you that it's zeroed. To determine the mass of something, you place it on the pan, and when you do that, the left side of the balance becomes heavier than the right side of the balance, so the needle goes up. We're going to adjust the riders until it's balanced again, and then we'll be able to read the measurement off of the riders. So the first step here is to take the 100-gram rider here and move the 100-gram rider all the way to the right. So it's right there at the 500 mark. When I do that, the needle goes down. So I know that my object is less than 500 grams. The next step is to take that 100-gram rider and move it back to the left one click at a time until the needle goes up. Like that. So I now know that my object is less than 500 grams, but it's more than 300 grams. The next step is going to take the 10-gram rider here and move the 10-gram rider all the way to the right. And then the needle goes down again. So I know that my measurement is more than 300 grams and less than 400 grams. I'm going to do the same thing with this rider that I did with the 100-gram rider. I'm going to move the 10-gram rider back one click at a time until the needle goes up, like that. At this point, I now know my measurement that I want is more than 380 grams and less than 400 grams. I'm going to take my 1-gram rider now and move my 1-gram rider all the way to the right until it's on the 10, and the needle should go down. So I now know that my object is less than 380 plus 10, or 390 grams. So it's between 380 and 390 grams. I'm going to do the same thing with this rider that I did with the previous riders. I'm going to move this back to the left. Now there's no grooves for it to click into. I'm just sliding it 1 gram at a time, and I'm going to keep sliding it to the left 1 gram at a time until the needle goes up. So I know it's going to be less than 385. It's less than 384, less than 383, less than 382, less than 381. Now my needle just went up just a little bit, but it's still below the 0 over here. So now I really have to fine-tune this. And to do that, sometimes when people do that, it can be a little tricky, and it makes the balance kind of tip back and forth like that. You can prevent that a little bit by just steadying the balance over here on this side with your thumb by pinching that little piece of metal very, very lightly, and that allows me to move the rider 1/10 of a gram back to the left. And I'm going to keep doing this until the needle is pointing at 0. And we're getting very close, not quite there yet. And right there, the needle on this side is pointed right at 0. So now I can take a look at where the riders are, and I'm going to add up the values for the riders. This is 300 grams, this one is pointing at 80 grams, and this one is pointing right at 0.6 grams, right on the line. Because there's lines for tenths of a gram, I can record the measurement down to the hundredths of a gram. So in this case, I'm going to record this as 380.60 grams.